everybody. Welcome to Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. We're already laughing. We just started. And my name is Devin Siebold. I've got James Yon with me, my lovely co-host. And then we also have our special guest sitting in for an extra week of the podcast, Bree, Honest Teacher Vibe. She's on a week-to-week basis, and we've decided to renew her contract one more week. And she is here. And so it's good to see you. But we record in Orlando. And we got lucky because Bree came down to Disney World. Yes. And she's such a big Disney fan. And you were at Magic Kingdom.
I was.
I was at Epcot. You were at all of them.
I was at all of them because I am now a roller coaster kind of guy.
Yeah, he's.
I am riding roller coasters
More
now,
power
Bree.
to you.
James,
Thank
you've
you.
overcome your fears.
I did overcome my fears.
More
I
power to
did.
you.
I'm going to give you a star sticker.
Thank you.
And you know what was funny is I was at Disney and I saw a pin that said, you know how they give you like celebrating and it's like first birthday or whatever. Somebody put celebrating and it said not having kids. And they were like, and I was like, you know what? That's worth celebrating, I guess.
Here.
But it's funny because I was at Epcot and I actually saw one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Okay. You know how families wear T-shirts to Epcot?
Absolutely.
And like in school groups,
Right.
like they'll all have
matching
T-shirts. Teachers love doing those. You know, I'm gonna vinyl print it and make shirts for everybody.
Yes.
And somebody made shirts for the whole family, and it said Epcot family trip. We're getting drunk around the world, or it said I'm getting drunk around the world.
Okay.
I'm getting drunk around the world on the back, and they made them for everyone. Children included.
All right.
There was like
All right.
6-year-olds with I'm getting drunk around the world. Like, and I was like, you know, maybe we shouldn't do all of the shirts that way.
Y'all going to jail.
Yeah.
Y'all going to jail.
Now, I had an interesting dilemma. I had something happen at Epcot. I have not discussed it with you prior to this.
Oh, gosh, Devin.
Now, here's the thing, though. It's one of those things that I'm like mulling over in my head, so I need some advice. I went full teacher mode. I was walking through Epcot, coming by the big ball, and I look over just at the right time, and there is a guy, and he's with his 2 kids, and probably a 6-year-old son, you know, and probably 8-year-old daughter, and the mom is there. And he is very mad. This dad is very mad, and he pulls back his hand, and he smacks his daughter. Like, and I'm talking hard. Like, I was shocked. When I saw it, I froze for just a second, and it took me a minute. I was processing it. I was like, did that just happen? Like, did I think that just happened? And you're looking at everything around you. You're like, is the mom reacting? She didn't. You know, is the son
reaction
reacting?
from the
No reaction from mom. No, calm down,
That
honey.
means he
No,
does that all
nothing.
the time then.
Well, that's the thing, is as I'm sitting there reacting to it, he does it again.
What?
And when I'm talking like hard, this is, I mean, I would have been like in tears if somebody hit me this hard. And this is a little 8-year-old girl. The girl got hit. And so I took one more step, and in my mind I go, that's not right. And I turned around and I walked right up to him and I said, hold on, buddy.
Thank you.
I said, what you just did is illegal.
Yes, it is.
It is wrong. I said, and I got in his face. I mean, I'm talking, I was at the ball. If you're in Mexico, you're like, who is so mad over there? Who is that?
And does he want a fiestada?
Yeah, and they got full mariachi band, and they're still like, I still hear something. I was livid.
Oh my gosh, I would have said something.
This man at first gritted his teeth, and I think he wanted to fight me. But he realized I'm 6'6". True. And that is not a fight you want to take on right now in Epcot.
Yeah.
And I berated this man.
I would have too. Slap that baby in the face.
And the first thing I said, I'm a teacher. I said, I have been a teacher. I said, if I ever saw something like that happen at my school, or I heard about it, or if I saw, you know, a little girl come up to me and tell me that happened, I said, you're in jail, buddy.
Yes.
I said, you are in jail.
Yes.
I said, I'm reporting it every time. I don't even second guess it. I said, what you just did is absolutely wrong.
Abuse.
And he gritted his teeth, and I'm about to knock you back. He goes, she hit me. And I said, boy, I mean,
his black woman coming out. His black woman coming out.
You ever see Inside Out? I was the red guy. I'm like,
yes.
I said, an 8-year-old girl hit you, and that's your response. And she is crying. I said, there is probably welts on her body. I said, and what you did in public, you did it in public. Twice. You had a second to think about what you did wrong.
And you doubled down.
And you doubled down on it. And I was taken back. And the mom starts defending him. And she goes, we're just raised differently. That's how we handle our kids.
Okay, let me tell you something about being raised differently real quick.
Yeah.
I grew up in a family in the South, and they hit kids. We did. But when I started raising my children, I have 4. I wanted to be different.
Do you know what my words were to that? I said, break the cycle.
Yes.
That's what I said.
That's my point.
I said, just because you got raised that way does not mean that
you
have to keep doing it.
You as a dad slapped her in the face 2 times?
No, slapped her on the back and then hit her again. But didn't hit her on I slapped her like straight up.
He didn't slap her in the face.
The first time he hit her on the back.
But the second time he slapped her on the face?
Okay, first off, I'm agreeing with your thing. As a parent, I grew up where we got spankings in the South.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be that parent because it always came from anger. It wasn't teaching me. It was, I'm angry right now, and this is how I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't spank my kids. No. And I have 4 kids, bragging on them because they're amazing kids, all in college, all got scholarships.
He called me to hit him. And I did. I went over and I was like, James told me to do this. He said he couldn't pull himself to do it. He hired a hitman.
If you close fist slap somebody, you make a backhand, boy.
You're gonna Ultimate Warrior WWF.
Black people, when we say, going on now, we trying to give you a chance to get out of our face.
I'm with you. You're
I was livid.
Right.
I was livid. And
Thank the Lord that you said something.
But then he goes, I'm a child of God. And and then I said, you're giving me all these excuses. I said, you haven't even apologized. I said, you don't even see what's wrong here. He goes, no, I don't. And I was like, okay. I said, maybe Disney will find it a little bit different than you do.
Yeah.
And I said, so I'm going to go get a team member. And I did. There was guest services right over there. I said, that man over there just hit his child twice. I said, out in the open, hard as can be, tons of witnesses. And when he hit her, there was people that yell, you go to jail for that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
You do.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, there were people yelling. Nobody took action, though. This happens behind the scenes. And I told my girlfriend, Kate, I said, listen, I was talking to this man. I was talking to his wife. It was clear they were gone. They were of the mindset, this is fine.
Yeah.
I said, but in my mind, when I was talking, I kept looking at the kids, and they were mouths wide open, listening to every word I said.
Yeah.
And suddenly they were realizing that this wasn't right.
Right.
They saw how everybody else reacted. They were like, this happens at home. We thought it was okay. Now it's happened in public.
And people
that's not how everybody else does it?
And think of what relationship that's saying to your daughter don't feel safe with you. You slapped her across the face. I'm going to tell you right now, if Joel Richardson slapped my baby across the face, they going to be digging you a shallow grave.
Then James is going to give you my number. He'll be like, I know a guy. And he's going to swing by your house.
He's literally a pinch hitter.
Yeah.
Like Joel would never even think about slapping Peyton across the face. Like I cannot. And slapped her hard is crazy.
But I'm talking like Kate didn't see the second one, and she thought somebody dropped their phone. You know how when you hear the flat like that, that's what she heard, and she was like, it took her a second, and she saw me react, and afterwards she goes, I have to ask you. She goes, that second sound. She goes, was that him hitting her? And I was like, yeah. She goes, I'm so thankful you jumped into this. And, but it's so funny because everybody was shocked. And I stood up. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to let this pass. And when I went right to his face, I looked at this lady and I go, ma'am, I said, can you be a witness? And she goes, mm-mm. And she walked the other way. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I've lost half my power.
And that's the sad part about what goes on nowadays with kids in
nobody
public.
Wants to
nobody
step
wants
up.
to get involved because no one wants problems.
Nobody wants, but it's just like,
but if
and
you
then
see something, say something.
Yeah, but then, violence to me begets violence.
It does.
And then these kids are in the classroom going, I disagree with the teacher. Let me do what daddy did to me. and and let me hit her, and we get so many. Oh, this teacher got smacked. This teacher got punched. This teacher got hit. That's a pattern. There's stuff that's coming from above at the parent level. And man, but I was shaking. I was
Devin, if we would have been there together, I mean, we would have been a dynamic duo. Cause baby, I would have been. We finna go.
It would have been the Dudley brothers. We're in there, just through the table.
Dudley, get the table.
I'm telling you, the fact that I know who that is okay.
But I was just shocked. Dang. I mean, shocked. And, but my kids saw me step up. My kids were there. And I left and I was like.
You have a daughter, don't you?
And I have a daughter and 2 sons. And I was like, I looked at Kate and I go, did I do the right thing? She goes, yeah, you did the right thing.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, but I just, it's one of those things where you're like, should I step in? Should I tell? But man, the parents, I think it was lost. They were dead in the eyes, mad at me. They were mad at me.
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
And this is the funny thing, though. Oh my God. So I'm talking to the guy, and I'm like, "You just hit your child." I was like, I said, we don't tolerate that. And then I said the S word, and the kids are right there, and the mom goes, "We don't cuss in front of our students." I said, "But you hit them." Yeah. I mean, not students. We don't cuss in front of our kids. I said, "But you hit them."
But you beat them.
You beat them. I said, you know what? I won't cuss anymore.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not gonna cuss
My
anymore.
bad.
But what you did,
ma'am, sort out your freaking priorities.
She was more shocked by that word coming out of my mouth.
Yes.
Than her child getting leveled.
But
you don't understand.
I
beat my kids for Jesus.
Yeah,
that's exactly how she sounds.
But that was
exactly
how it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was a guy with some anger.
Yeah, because you slapped that child.
The way he was talking to me, the way we were talking, he was like, he had the stroller between him, and he was like looking at me, and he was like, if this stroller wasn't here, if there weren't people around, he was like, it'd be on right now. And I'm like,
crazy part about the whole thing, he knew he was wrong.
Yep,
he knew he was wrong. A head dog will holler.
I kept saying that. I repeated that over and over. I said, it's wrong, right? It's wrong. And he goes, we just have different opinions. I said, the law has opinion,
straight up opinion.
I said, and it doesn't differ from yours.
No.
So it sides with me.
Gotcha.
And so I mean, that whole experience.
I can tell.
But it made me mad too, because at first it took away from my day, because we had just got there. Yeah. At first I was like shaking. I was like, man, I was replaying it over and over in my head. And this is the thing, Disney, I got their attention, and they pointed him out, and they knew who he was, and the manager came over, and they couldn't stop him. Like, the cast members couldn't stop him. So the team member put security. They were like, we got security on him. They're going to get him. They're going to get him. And I told Kate, I said, I hope they don't right away. I said, because I want him to
think about that. Yeah.
I want him to walk around looking for me, looking for security, thinking about how wrong he was for the next few hours.
Yes.
He's not gonna do anything again while he's here. Right. He's not that dumb.
Yeah.
But I want him to be scared.
Yeah.
I want him to have the same fear his kids probably
There you
have.
go.
That retaliation is coming.
And what you did is save that girl and that little kid from going through that the whole day.
Yeah.
Because he'll think twice that day. He would think twice.
I hope he thinks,
before doing
and I hope the mom gets something in her head going, hey, what that guy said, maybe we need to think about this.
Absolutely.
And
maybe
the fact
this isn't
that you
the way
as a mom would stand there and let
your
a
daughter
man slap your child. I'd slap you for that.
And the kid was beside themselves crying. I mean, they were hurt. They were physically hurt.
Right. You already hit him twice.
So, anyways, I had to tell you guys that story.
If you out there, you watching this and devil shoe, I hope your macaroni and cheese dry for Christmas.
Yep,
okay,
I
wow.
hope it is.
That'll teach them.
Yep. No
dry macaroni.
No crust.
Yeah,
no crust. No cheese
Gotcha.
on top. Just
I would say
straight
this.
up Kraft.
Everybody needs Jesus, but those people needed an ass whooping. Okay.
Yeah. They did.
That's what it is right there.
All right, let's go into Teachers in the News. That's a new segment that we've coined here on the show.
I got it.
Just kidding.
I got it.
I'm pretty sure after that, Devin, you were in the news. There you go, man.
Maybe. I gave them my number. I told them, if you need a statement or anything, I'm here. I would do the police report or whatever. But I don't know. So, all right, teachers in the news. Mabel Leidy is a gifted math teacher, and she has passed away at the age of 83.
Mabel.
Now,
rest in peace.
Yeah, I look at some of these obituaries for teachers. You always see they're so well loved. Teachers are always community figures, and especially the ones that have done it for so long, you know? And you sit there and you read about it, and this one I thought deserved some response. It just, the whole community talked about her, taught with kindness. Students were having problems with math. She knew just what to do. She was a gifted math teacher. She was an educator, and she literally taught to the end. Like this, she started teaching in 1959.
Wow.
Now, here's the thing. She was a teacher locally at her middle school for 38 years.
Dang.
And then spent 25 years teaching math at the high school, and then spent the rest of the time, the last 14 years, teaching at a college.
How much math is that?
That's a lot. That's
I don't
the
know.
math of mathing.
Yeah, the math ain't. Hold on now.
Yeah.
38.
To quote Drake, I don't know how much, but that's a lot.
She did. Yeah, but you got to understand. I
Don't
mean, she graduated from high school at age 16 and joined the faculty immediately after graduating college. So 16 for high school. But this is the thing. I celebrate this, and I think, Mabel, you career service. Yeah, shout out to you, Mabel. And but you also wonder on the flip side of it, you know, are we requiring teachers to teach? I mean, you go, Mabel, did you get any U time? You know, did you get any U time? You know, because sometimes I see teachers that are like, I would love to retire, but I can't because the retirement system doesn't pay enough. They're struggling to get by, especially with inflation. There's teachers that go, I'm done, and then, you know, inflation happened, the pandemic happened, they go, I'm back. You know, and they gotta come back. So I love Mabel. She seems like she did it out of a love of passion, you know, but I just see a lot of stories like that where they're like, taught for 64 years, and you're like, worked for 64 years, you know, like where's the travel and love and
but at that point it's got to be something that you love, because 38 years I'm like, okay, you retire after 38
and
years,
she kept going.
Because you said 38 years plus 14 years plus how many years after that last one?
It was 25, it was 38, 25, 14, something like that.
Because I don't do public math. Years don't
I'm guessing she taught at the college and high school overlapping, because there's some that do high school and during the day and then teach at night.
Her life was literally teaching.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
But she was dedicated to the profession.
I bet that funeral, I bet that there wasn't a single empty seat in that place.
For sure.
It was all students and faculties.
For sure.
Because I'm going to tell you, when I was a kid, we all had teachers that changed our lives.
Absolutely.
We all had that one person that believed in us, motivated us, and gave us words of encouragement.
Absolutely.
So she was that to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
So I think teaching, and I know you guys know this better than me, I just think teaching's a calling. I don't think everybody does it.
It is.
It's just something.
It is.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, straight to voicemail.
I can't stand him. I can't stand him.
Sometimes.
I can't stand him.
You know what? Text me.
Yeah. No, I can't stand him.
Hold on, TikTok's on the other line. Let me call you right back.
No, this is Collins. It's just going straight to voicemail.
All right. This one, at first, I was like, and then I was like, oh, man. Teacher's assistant was arrested because of a stashed jar of the Mary J.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
The wacky
Southern colloquialism.
The wacky tobacco. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, apparently there was a stash jar of it, and at the school.
Why would you keep a stash jar at the school?
Here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe they were, you know, after school partaking.
To
be honest with you, I think we should lighten up a little bit, because a lot of states is legal now.
The reefer at the schoolhouse?
You know, not at the schoolhouse.
Oh, okay.
Maybe a little like, hey, I got a long testing day today. Mm-hmm. I need a little edge off.
There you go.
But
there you go.
Yeah, the teacher assistant was arrested. Now, here's the thing. I was like, man, how could you let that happen?
Right.
This is the story. Nashville police say they responded to the school initially because a special needs student through in the kindergarten through 7th grade school apparently was disorderly and placed in the teacher's lounge to calm down. While they were in the teacher's lounge, they began throwing all of the faculty members' belongings around the room and destroying the teacher's lounge.
Oh, the kid did.
So in the process of destroying the teacher's lounge,
man,
they found it. And you know, somebody sent an email like, so can we have another room that we store our stuff? You know,
How did they identify whose it was? I wonder if the kid was throwing stuff around.
I don't know. It's a teacher probably had one of those labelers.
Nah, you ain't putting no label on your reefer.
But it was it's so I mean
That's funny.
They put the kid in there to calm down.
Yeah.
I think we get 2 birds, 1 stone.
No.
Hey, trustworthy.
Yeah, they found and the teacher was probably like, so they found my 6 ounces, and they're like, 6 ounces? There was 3. It's like they found my 3 ounces. You know, like
What if it was a community jar?
Why is he so funny?
What if it was a community jar?
Yeah.
What if all teachers are like, well, now what we gonna do?
Hey, it's a teacher break room. What if they had like Skittles? Guess the number of nugs. You're like, we got.
If we get caught, we rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, this week Julie guessed it. It was a quarter ounce.
It was a quarter ounce.
I cannot.
Julie, you are going home happy.
The things that happens in schools is wild.
It's insane.
They're wild.
All right, now this one I'm not on board with. We've talked about it a little bit in the past. I don't know if this is a good thing.
Okay.
But in Texas, there was an election, and they approved some spending for the schools, which included, and I don't know if this is what I want, funding for 4 different housing projects for teachers. They want to provide housing for teachers that are teaching in the area.
Okay.
1, 2, 3,
So-
not it.
Here's, I'm in the middle.
2, 3,
Okay,
not
so yes, way to go. We are providing something that teachers need.
That's where?
They can't afford to Texas.
Texas.
They can't afford to, maybe get rent or a mortgage. It's expensive. They don't pay them enough. But you go, okay, well, we're going to give you this housing while you're a teacher. But to me, that's dating back to like the Pullman mining philosophy of you live here. We own you now. It's like, because then you go, if I hate my job, I lose my house.
Yes, you do.
I lose my residence.
Yes.
And I don't know what kind of contracts they put them into, but it's so you can't, now you got another thing on you and they're like, oh, we're not giving you any more raises this year.
Because
property taxes went up. Sorry about that. We're covering the property tax.
Okay, I need to clarify. When you said housing projects,
not the PJs.
Not
the PJs. Yeah, I know
that's
what you
why
were
I was
thinking.
like, 1, 2, 3, not it.
Yeah.
I ain't living in projects again. I'm not gonna do that.
Did we all live in government housing?
I think we all.
I grew up in projects.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. This is crying over my government cheese. We're here today.
Bro, that government cheese used to hit though. It used to slap when you was hungry.
slap.
Yeah,
It does.
crying over my WIC check. But here we
we
are.
pull you through though.
Here's the thing.
What is it, 2 gallons of milk?
Yeah.
But
bro.
again, I don't know if that's the solution. Pay them enough to afford their own housing where they want to live.
They always dance around the issue.
And let me tell you right now, we're not even speaking about the real problem here. I don't want coworkers being my next door neighbors.
Because I can't stand y'all when we at work. Some of y'all, I don't want to see you afterward.
I don't want, hey, I know it's 7:30 at night. Did you get a chance to make those copies?
Get off my porch.
Yep.
Get off my porch.
Get off my porch.
Don't come over here asking for no cup of sugar. Don't come over here asking, can I watch your kids?
Yep.
Get off my porch.
I will open the door for Jehovah's Witness before I do another teacher. I will be like, come on in.
Man.
Come on in. There. Sorry, can't come in. We got the Mormons. We got the Baptists. We got everybody up in
here.
here.
For everybody.
I got a girl from Amway.
Yeah. We got Amway. Wait, a full Amway.
Hey, Amway was back in the day, man. Amway was back in the day.
But I
can see that leading to some, especially if you live like all on the same street or something. Nah, that's problematic.
No, I don't want to work. I don't want to live with my coworkers.
No,
not at all.
But I mean, maybe like you get carpooling probably be pretty good, because everybody's there.
Gotcha.
Might save you some money. But I have got a list here of if teaching were like Disney World.
Oh my gosh.
I did this on Crying Like I added some. I revamped it. This is the 2022 version.
I like it.
I have turned it into a new if teaching were like Disney World, because I did this on the podcast years ago.
Okay.
And these are how the teacher theme park. Now, the teacher theme park, by the way, it's public, obviously, so everybody can experience the thrills of being a teacher. So the first thing we're going to look at is It's a Small World. And by the way, same ride as the real It's a Small World. You just have two kids from your class that you never wanted to see right behind you. Oh. You're like, oh, this is the worst kind of small world.
Oh, no. I jump in the water.
Yeah.
I jump off the boat into the water.
A Tower of Terror is just your school's elevator with the expired inspection card. And you're pretty sure the kids in detention use a rope to pull it to the top.
Oh, my goodness.
You know, because I'm telling you, you ever get in a school elevator and you're like, what in the heck? This is not legal. This is. They have the haunted portable.
Nice.
You know, because the mansion was overcrowded, and they said it would take 6 months till we got a new haunted mansion.
Oh my goodness!
And you're like, this will just be here temporarily. 10 years later, we're just adding more haunted portables. We're just adding.
I remember portables.
This is so creative.
The ride by itself is just walking into a portable after 2 months off. You know, because there's cobwebs and everything, and there's a ghost, and there's baseball players with an hour to kill before practice that won't leave your class.
What are y'all doing in here? Get out!
Grim grinning players come out to socialize. All right.
Well
done. The teacher teacups. Teacups. This is where all the kids ride the ride, and the adults sit by the desks at the exit, and each kid gets off and says, "Miss, I don't feel good," and then throws something in your lap. Welcome to first grade, right? I don't feel good. The carousel of progress, it's except where you sit in the part that doesn't move about the same teaching strategies. It gets stuck. They're like, you're like, the future teteaching strategies are over there. It's like, these are the teaching strategies of 1952.
Big, beautiful.
We'll never come because we don't have budget. Toontown. You don't remember Toontown?
I do.
I've seen the.
I do.
Yeah, you remember
Toontown.
Toontown. That's where you go into Mickey's little house, and you realize this is the only home that you can ever afford, or on a teacher's salary.
There you go.
You're like, wow, this is what home ownership looks like. This is nice. And then Test Track. This is where you're making your way out of the parking lot on the last day of school. Everybody left, right?
Oh my gosh!
90 miles an hour. There's an avalanche.
Get out of the way!
Now this one it closed, but it was Primeval World. Did you ever ride Primeval World?
I don't think so.
Animal Kingdom, and it was a cool little coaster that spun, and it was about the end.
It looked like Mousetrap.
It was dinosaur.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I
but it was
remember
all
that.
dinosaurs, end of the world, and that's where you take a dive into the classroom of unvaccinated kids, and that's the way we used to have it during the Cretaceous period. And you're like, what virus will I get today?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and then there's Living with the Land. That's where you hear you aren't getting a raise and consider moving to Alaska and living off of your own abilities.
Okay.
You're like, well, they're not going to pay me. I saw this on Discovery.
Yeah, I can make it.
There's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Great.
That's a great ride, and that's where you sail through my class when I tell them they can have free time. There's just fires and pillaging and cannons going off. You're like, who brought a cannon to school?
If you turn that into a book, I will be the first person to buy it. Oh my gosh. That is, y'all don't even understand. Y'all just got y'all a little hidden gem. That was so creative.
My teacher theme park. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
Somebody going to turn that into a TV show.
Yeah, I hope not. Copyright. By the way.
I'm saying for you, they'll turn you know.
I know. All right. DevinComedy.com for all my upcoming tour dates. And don't forget, check out my book, A Teacher in the Wild. It's on Amazon right now. The soft cover is $9.50. That's $3 off. It's a cheap little, I'm doing it for Christmas for the kids.
There you go.
Trick load of kids.
There you go.
All right.
People, please follow me. James Yon. Go to Instagram, James Yon Comedian, YON. I need you in my life.
Yes, absolutely. And Bree, Honest Teacher Vibes.
Honest Teacher Vibes on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I want to bring up just real quick before we cut out, don't you have another Instagram that you started up?
Oh, yeah. I started Mental Health Vibes.
Mental Health Vibes.
On Instagram, because y'all know I talk a little bit about mental health. And
I think that's great. It needs to be an open discussion.
It does,
and
especially
I think
teacher mental health.
I saw that and I was like, man, that's something we need. We need an open discussion of teacher mental health.
Yep.
So taboo to talk about what you're going through, the problems that you're having. So definitely follow that on Instagram as well. Thank you all for tuning in to Crying in My Car. Thank you, Bree, for joining us as a guest.
We love you, Bree.
Yeah, we'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car podcast. We're teachers.